Good afternoon, everyone. How are we? Let me set up my chat so I can see if you guys are asking any questions. All right. So, ooh, okay. So, uh, since the morning, I've done my things I wanted to do. So I'm back streaming, working on the game, like I promised. Today's session are going to be um, map design and some functions to put together. So it's mostly just busy work, really. Um, we need to finish this first map with the names and doors and everything. Especially with the names, doors coming within the actual level as well. But I have another four, um, another three actually, another three floors. So I'm just I'm just gonna start. Um, Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you want to see anything from the game itself. This is fairly boring task for myself, so just let me know. And I can, take a break from doing this. All right. So where are we? So that is one. All right. At least with this, I don't have to be as precise as I usually am. Um, so kinda like that, and I can just say minus. Obviously, I can be annoyed by myself as well, um, because I'm doing these kind of things. But hey, um, that's the thing. Okay, cool. Next, James. Do I have enough space? Yeah, I have. It's actually all right. Maybe a bit. And I can come up with kind of what kind of you know design for the save room. Because it's just called save room, so I was thinking I could make, see if I can actually do it in here. So let's call this big S. Don't know if I can actually delete shadow. There's the color itself. What's this? Shadow color. I need text style format, I guess. Yeah. Okay. New idea. All right. Just a really big S. I think that can work. Not with the shadow though, but I think that might might work. Nope, not that one. Maybe it needs to be white. Let's go back to white. Kit 5 old. Yeah, that I think that's fine for save room. Okay. Now this thingy, um, the arrow. That's gonna be interesting. Also have a look on this. So set room labels. Refresh room labels. So I need, because that's a text, which is fine. I think I can add multiple. Visibility has, I think it has multiple targets, but I can easily see that. Oh, just one target. Okay. But that's fine, because then I can just have two of these functions next to each other. So it doesn't really matter. So what this function does, just so you get it, so on the map, it doesn't, when you just walking around in the mansion, it doesn't show these names of the rooms. As you can see, this is the for the main hall, for example, that's the pixelated um, text that I have on the image itself. But if I go into inside, it showed already because it's on the top of it. So that's the idea, kind um, of the map that I'm working on, and that function that I showed. That's what it does basically. It sets the visibility if you are in that kind of room to visible. So that's okay. Let's just hope we have that kind of arrow. Um, I really hope so that we have it. I just need to find it. So let's copy it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to show other part of the game as well. So let's copy. Okay. Yeah, let's do that one. I'm actually going to check which numbers I'm using on this. So okay, fine. Yeah, sure. I think stairs to first floor is going to be really, really long. So to first floor. Okay. Sixty. Yeah. Okay. What I'm going to do now. Um, so that is what is this layer? We need this layer. No. Okay. So there's the maps for in game, and I'm going to hide some of these stuff here. So I have a vague idea how these gonna look to me. I'm going to need this arrow. So like that. That's a different arrow. No, definitely not the way it is. So Let me try something around this time. Because I kind of like you, and I'm just gonna do transform and go 90 instead, so I don't need the arrows anymore, and that actually looks so much better as well with the longer base. So yeah, 7. Yeah, I'm gonna try and put it on like that. Same with you. It's almost there though. Yeah, cool. Same thing. I actually need. Just thinking how to call it. Not you. Stay. So vertical, horizontal. Don't we have a better idea just now? We have a whole lot of these, so save room, dining room, library. These are the same thing as well. All right, I'm gonna call it library arrow because that's in the library. And this is main hall arrow. And you are library stairs. And this is main hall stairs. Hi, can you please show and explain how you implemented turn in place in first person and show the camera setting and other stuff? Hello. Sure. What you need? Turn in place. Okay, 1 second. How are you doing, by the way? Cool. Turning place. So you mean... Oh, I need a weapon. Okay. Up. Double escape. Alright. So you mean like this? That part? Just turning in first person? Because if this is what you are after, that's fairly simple, to be honest. All you need... I put it in player controller. I like to separate stuff. You can do it in your uh, character blueprint. I don't like to just throw everything into one. It's not good practice to do. Basically, the the player blueprint should be what the player character itself wants to do. Try to think about that way. What that character in the game is doing and what's the execution of that thing doing. Player controller, on the other hand, is a blueprint to collect stuff that you as a player want your character to be doing. So, for example, turning place in first person, that's something that you as a player want your character to do. But picking up an object, for example, or picking up an object is like borderline thing. Um, there was one other example in my mind. I just slipped it. Mm, examining an objective in the world. So going to, like, I don't know, furniture and see what it is. That's something that your character wants to do in game. So that can live inside your heroine or inside your player blueprint. It's a nice separation, and it doesn't get too crowded if you separate into two things basically. So what you're after is basically you need, if you are using a newer, I'm guessing you are using newer Unreal Engine up from 1.5.1, I think, the enhanced input. So you basically just need this input action, set it to this. So basically it's an axis 2D value. I leave on the screen so you can make a screenshot or something. So you need one of these. This is, like I said, an input action, and you set it to axis 2D. You need then that thing. This is an input mapping context, and you need to add look mouse. Yes, you need to add that input action into this. Then you need to add binding to it, mouse X and mouse Y. So moving on the X axis and moving on the Y axis. One thing about the Y axis, You can leave it as a default, the X. On the Y, do these two modifiers, or again, I leave it on the screen. This is just two modifier that you need to add. One is this swizzle input axis value. You can add it by the add elements next to the modifiers, and you want to add a color as well on -1, depending on your setup, or if you want to do my setup, mine was inverted, and that's why the scalar is there, and the swizzle is basically this, what the swizzle does is reading only the y1, the y-axis. Scalar -1 because it was inverted for me. When you have these, you basically wanna do that part. So don't mind the branch here. It's not part of the code if you're just doing the input. You take the input action, you take the value, the blue value, you break it into a vector 2D, and then you get the X and the Y. These values here are the the sensitivity settings in any game. So I could just expose these two numbers for the options, and people can tune their own sensitivity. That's how I like it, so I just leave it like that, but later on I'm going to expose for options. So you multiply it by a number, and you add your input and add pitch input. So yaw is the X and pitch is the Y. And what I have, and basically that's it. That's full control. Like this is mouse look, already. What I have on the following ones is clamping. So I am doing mouse sensitivity, and I have offsets for them that I clamp because I don't want my character to be able to look all over. So if you look up, you could theoretically just rotate it over, and that's the same thing on the left as well. Left and right, you can turn all over 36 degree, and this is the code for that to clamp it. So my max yaw is 60 degree basically, and my max pitch down and up, that's down, so looking down is 68 degree, and looking up is 45 degree. And how does it look in my game? That clamping, so you have like a visual explanation as well. So my gun in my hand, if I move the camera, that's the maximum I can move. I'm still moving my mouse, but the camera doesn't move anymore. Same on the right side as well. And then up, that's my maximum up. Still moving the camera, you see, I'm trying, but it doesn't move up anymore. And down as well. So clamping is something that I needed because I cannot move the character itself, and I didn't want to turn in FPS. My character doesn't need that at all. So that's the clamping part. Setting your offset, pitch offset. What am I doing here? And that's just the new control rotation for the body. The body rotates. So here, what this thing do? The body itself rotate a bit, so it's more realistic basically, because it's just more realistic. It's not like you are turning just the camera. I'm actually turning the character itself, so the weapon is moving, you know, and my entire upper body is moving as well. And that's just the rotation for that part. And pretty much that's it. That's all the, you know, turn in place for FPS. Tiny bit of code only. Camera setting, yeah, I can show that to you as well. So it's not the, so I might, if I were doing it again, I would definitely use, no, let me rephrase that. If I were doing like a proper FPS where camera lag, dynamic movement on the camera, really nice animations, reloading animation, jumping animation, you know, running, and the camera react to that. You really need a spring arm. Like for my TP camera, the third person camera is a development camera. It's not for people, not for players. It's for me. I can show it to you because it looks nice, but I'm not gonna release it with the game. So use of spring arm. Spring arm really great at control. Basically, you just have the spring arm, and under the spring arm, the camera itself. Right now, on my character, I just have one camera, and to the camera, I actually have the first person arm attached to. So as I rotate the camera, that arm is rotating as well because it's a child of the camera itself. And have a weapon pivot. That's the socket for the weapon, basically, where it's attached. That's that's more complicated than this, but let's just say that this is like a point for the weapon itself. My camera setting is obvious perspective, projection mode. My field of view is really tight. It's 55 degree because I need that. If you are just making an FPS, I think you should start around 70 minimum. 70 minimum, definitely minimum 70. People love to bump it up to, you know, 90 degree, 110 degree. So start with a much higher number. I need the field of view to be really narrow because it's a horror game. So I deliberately want the player to feel claustrophobic, and that's one way to do. Apart from that, this is really important. If it's in place, rotation, you need to tick this. Use pawn control rotation. Let me see what else. Camera component. Post process, you don't need to. You could, you know, change the camera post process setting. Do it globally. There's a post process volume. If you don't want to do anything fancy with the camera itself, or you don't want camera based post process effect, then you don't really need to do it. Maybe again, if it's an FPS that you are working on, then probably you want to have a look on depth of field and no, just depth of field, basically. So depth of field, I have tiny. Haven't really wanted to do anything with it. My game is not about that. So depth of field on this. Theoretically, because this is ADS, I could have a depth of field here where my hand is blurred, out. Because you know, when you are in ADS, you are focusing, your eyes focusing on one particular point, and in reality that doesn't really happen. You don't see blurring, but in video games somehow you need to communicate that. Like, I know people hate it, I know people don't like motion blur, people don't like depth of field, because it's altering the visuals, they say. Yes, but there has to be some visual communication on what's happening, uh, because it's too plain. Like, even my implementation of the EDS is really really plain, um, but I need that kind of plainness in my game right now, and that's why I'm not using depth of field yet. I don't think I actually going to, even just now talking about it, I don't think so. But I love depth of field. I love motion blur. Those things can help feel the game, or feel any kind of game, more alive. It's the the image itself will look better, if it's not over abused, obviously. Um, so you can use some of these depths of field here, uh, because you need it. Oh, nothing else here. That's also, it's always auto active, so that's fine. Yeah, that's the camera itself. It doesn't really have any. The setting is it's not the important part. The location of the camera is more important, and that's really hard to get it right. Um, mm, so the camera should be, when you look through a camera, you expecting to be a normal human being's height. Yeah. Uh, yes and no. A bit wrong. You kind of want the camera for FPS to sit around the chest part instead of the eyes, because the camera lens works a bit differently. It's not a straight, like, just shooting one line forward. It's a lens. It's bending. So put it somewhere where I did, just around the chest, the head, not the eye line. You don't have to. It's okay to clip like that with my character. There is near clip setting. You can just look for that setting in engine. I haven't really touched it, but you can increase near clip, or you can actually hide the clipping mesh if you don't need it. I actually don't have arms, for example. Like, when I'm going into FPS, some of the character mesh is gone. It's not showing. Also, one thing that I found really obscuring is shadows. So I actually turned off some of my character shadow in FPS, because it was, I think I turned off the arm shadow, because self shadowing is nice, but you need to judge your own game, if it looks okay, or if it's actually like some disturbing stuff. So that's just the main camera screen here, for idling, for an idle weapon view. This, that's a bitch. It was actually really hard to make it, this one, because it's not even the transition from idle to ADS. It's all the animation, and I'm not really an animator. I'm not really I'm not an artist. Yeah, my animations are different. I'm using really scoped down version of animations. I can show it to you how I do it. Or at least I can explain the principles of this. So first of all, you have this camera. This is the same camera. You have only one camera on the character. And what you do, again, back to here. No. So that's the ADS here. New ADS state, set ADS state, activate weapon base rotation. Cool. Weapon pools. Which is the enter exit. Where did I do def camera? Toggle first person transitioning exit. Let me find it. Aim here. So cancel set EDS. Set EDS. Where is my camera? What the camera does? Analog movement. Turn left, turn right. Quick turn. Flashlight. Equip. Unequip. Interact. Just tick. It's not on tick. Look. Toggle first person. That's just the enter part. No way no way I'm doing that. Okay. Oh, it's been a while. Let's file, look, analog movement, update movement. There we go. So ADS is relatively simple because what you do with the camera is basically you want to enter the location. Let me show you what happens and try to just look what happens with the camera. Once you understand what the camera does, it's much easier to see the code itself. So I have this here. I aim, the camera moves itself. It's not just zooming, it's not just field of view, it's actually moving. It needs to move because it's not my arm that's coming up, really. It's my camera that's moving. So you have the movement, you're moving it, and then you set the new field of view with an interp. So it's not like an instantaneous movement. It's a slow transition. So you set the field of view as well, and that's just going back to idle, basically. That's the two things that you need. Interp the field of view from, I don't even know what's the target for that. It's inside my weapon view that I guess 45 degree or something like that. You do that and you move the camera or the arm itself. It depends on your animation, it depends on your setup. So that's EDS. Animation, oh my god, that's a whole lot of things to do. Let me grab my phone because I got a message as well. Let's see what I've got. Cool. Okay, animations. Sequences. So let's just say you need, if you go for a bare minimum like I did, you need two kind of animations. First, you need one idle animation that can be actually animated. So it can actually be an idle thing. And you need one ADS animation. That's a different one. The arm is higher up. The arm needs to be higher up. And what I found that works much better, instead of the animation itself is an animation, you just need one frame, really. So a static pose. See, that's a static pose. And everything else, the fine camera movement, the fine details, you program everything else. You program the lag, you program the recoil you program, the kick of the gun, everything is camera programming. So there, if you have really high fidelity animation that can do uh, all these things by itself, the animation itself, that's great. You just attach the camera to the animation and it will move the camera the way you want it to be moved. But if you are like me and you are having, I wouldn't say low quality. This is like a mid quality. This is the animation I have is like double A category animation, not like a triple A. Really nice animation. Then you have like a static AD as just one frame, and you program everything else on the camera. Funny thing, that's a fun fact. Call of Duty itself, they tend to use static ADS animation as well. So it's not the character that's making the move. It's always the camera, and effects are basically on the top of those tiny camera movement that makes you believe and makes it really really believable and makes it really nice looking. The whole, how Call of Duty works is just top of first person shooter mechanics, really. I mean, we're talking about 25 years of experience and 25 years of tweaking. So you can't really take away, at least technically, we can't really take away that from Call of Duty. But that's it. That's all of it. All right, go back to my map just a bit. So I'm making progress as well. But feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to explain. I actually wanted to do this now first. So you. Okay. It's actually this. And yeah, that was it. That was the thing I was using. So I'm just gonna import it back here. Yeah, I think that works. That works well. Question: if I don't spell it out that this is stairs, will people get it still? I really hope so. I really, really hope so. All right, I think that's, yeah. So, what's that hallway? floors. 2. Basement. Too much. Mm. Okay, can you do this? So 1, 2, 1, 2, and I think I am going to do like um, room by room, at least from the with the shape of this, so I can actually see what where the rooms are. Um, that's an old name. Where is it? Label main or first floor. Yeah, just like that. Mm. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do things like that. Safe room S, dining room, library arrow, hallway arrow, main hall arrow, library, stairs, first floor. Um, yep, main hall, stairs, first floor, hallway A, stairs to basement. Makes more sense and it's actually more readable. Let's have a look. So there's nothing on the main hall. So we can go into the main hall and now it's there, the first floor. And does it stay? So once I visited it, if I go and it's there, it says main hall on the top left as well as current location. If I go to another one, it stayed there but not the current location. So yep, that is how I wanted it to work. Yeah, let's just keep going. I can add the dining room. I add it now because I think I'm gonna forget and I don't want to forget it. So I'm gonna go room by room that way. One, two. Obviously, it's not a. Probably this as well. Okay, so that is. I don't have the room ID. Okay. Room ID. But if I do that, I'm actually not going to forget anything. So that's not the worst idea. Dining room. And I'm actually going to open up this. Not that one. The map. Sure, I can have this. So I see what is happening. Dining room, cool. Dining room, nice. Next one is save room. Only one? Only one. Okay. And the save room doesn't have any other. Yeah, that makes sense. So this is save room. And I'm just gonna add save room here. But this is room ID. So I do need to call at least this one GF, ground floor safe room. I can actually call all of them like that, just so I know. Ground floor, first floor, second floor, attic. Okay, so that's done. That's done. Library is the next one, and library has actually 3. So can I just copy? Doesn't make sense to copy, but maybe. No, it does. It makes my life a little bit easier. So first I want the label, then I want the arrow, and then I want the library stairs. And I need to change that. So I add GF library, which is important because I have a library on the first floor as well. So I do need to know which library I'm talking about here. Library. Cool. And I think these are what's done. Save room, dining room, main hall, first floor, and I'm working on this one here. So, like I said, this is busy work. This is like, okay, I can go through it, but it's not really a fun part. So let's hold A. I mean, this is fun as well, just not as much as doing something else. So minus. Okay. Kind of. I just need to rename it. Okay. That's gonna be fun to do. Um, um, so this text needs to be a little bit shorter, which is fine. I'm gonna stop streaming here because my wife coming home and she bought some smoke, so I can smoke cigarettes. Finally. Don't do that though. So thanks for joining. I hope this was informative for you, unknown Mythos. If you need anything else, you can always find me here. I'm more than happy to help. So thanks again, and I'm gonna carry on this map thing, and probably in the next stream when I get to stream, I still gonna work on this. So take care. Have a great Saturday night. I'm sure I will. Thanks. Bye bye.